April 30th, 1996, in Baptist Memorial Hospital in Kansas City, Jerry Allen Siegler was born. Flash forward 34 years to the Plantation Golf Course in Memphis, Tennessee. Jerry was celebrating his 34th birthday by playing a round of golf, when his golf was abruptly interrupted by a phone call from his wife, saying that she was in labor. He rushed to the Baptist Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee, and as he waited for his newborn son to be born, he thought of how awesome it would be to be able to share a birthday with him. This was not exactly the case. His son, if you don't know, it's me, was born on May 1st, 1996, a day later. My favorite birthday tradition is the fact that I get to have like a 48-hour birthday celebration with my dad. I think it's also important to know the news on your birthday, know what's going on, because it could pertain to you. For example, the New York Times article I chose was about a law that passed requiring all babies to be tested for the AIDS virus. And if I was born on the day before, maybe the law wouldn't have been passed or I wouldn't have been tested for the virus. But I think it's relevant to me. Also, I chose an article from the Washington Post, I chose an article from the Wall Street Journal about oil and gas prices falling, and that was published on May 1st, 1996 as well, and about Osama bin Laden's death in 2011. So the first article from the New York Times is titled, "Lawmakers Agree on Testing Babies for the AIDS Virus." It was on the front page of the New York Times on May 1st, 1996. This article is very controversial. It discussed how women think that having to be tested or having their babies to be tested was invasive and it violated their rights. But politicians disagreed. They said it was moral to test them and that also the baby's health was more important than women's privacy. The second article I chose is from the Wall Street Journal. It's titled, "Crude Oil and Gas Futures Take a Dive." It discusses a fall in the prices of oil and gas due to an early sale of 12 million barrels of oil by President Clinton. It also talks about a reduce in the price of precious metals and grains, and President Clinton planned on using the revenues from this to pay off debts. The third article I chose is from my local newspaper in Memphis, Tennessee. It's called The Commercial Appeal. The article was titled, "Both Reviled and Reverted, Al-Qaeda Leader Chooses Fanaticism for His Movement." It discusses all of the harm induced by one of America's greatest enemies, Osama bin Laden, and how he was such a master at hiding and wouldn't back down. But then it also talks about the triumphant day for America, when we finally ended this 13-year-long manhunt, or 10-year-long manhunt. Then all of these articles caught my attention, I think because I could relate to all of them or find parallels. So the New York Times article, because it's controversial and it had to do with babies on the day that I was born. So I personally disagree with this law because I think that the government shouldn't have the right to force people to do something such as get tested for a disease or a virus. I think that it should be the people's choice to do that. The Wall Street Journal article caught my attention because gas prices right now have been lowering, so there's like that parallel between right now and 1996. Also, I thought it was interesting that people were talking about how gas prices were so high when they were like 89 cents in 1996, and now 89 cents, anyone would do anything to pay 89 cents for a gallon of gas. And I already knew about the death of Osama bin Laden because I've just lived through it, but I chose to use the Commercial Appeal article because it related to me because it was my local newspaper. I also like Paul Heyman, several of his articles. He was the author, and I like his writing. And I'm glad to share such a triumphant day with America.